Hey, Dr. Tim Turlop here with 5 Minutes to Vitality. In this installment, I'd like to talk a little bit about a recent study that was published in the Annals of the Rheumatic Diseases, a kind of fancy sounding journal that looks at disorders of the joints. So one of the things that they were looking at, a study recently that came out of Duke University, was looking at obesity, dietary factors, and arthritis. What we've long known is that obesity and being overweight is one of the significant predisposing factors to the development of arthritis. It's just universal. But one of the things that became a question for these researchers at Duke University is when they were doing a previous study and they noticed an absence of a fancy hormone called leptin. And leptin and ghrelin are two different hormones that do a dance of balance between appetite and what's called satiety or suppression of appetite, and hunger itself. So what they found is that people who had very little leptin, it was very highly predictive of whether they had arthritis. And this really begged the question, because it was about appetite and then fat metabolism, of wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. So maybe it isn't the size of the person, maybe it's what the person is eating. So they looked at and developed this study, and they were looking at mice. And what they did is fed these mice, who most of which were obese, some were not obese, but there were three groups of mice. Some they actually fed saturated fats. We've all heard of saturated fats, well known from animal products, and to create heart disease and elevate our cholesterol and all that. Well, then there was also then the group that they did with omega-6 fats. And omega-6 fats come from corn oil, canola oil, safflower oil, certain nuts, and that sort of thing. And it's thought to be a healthier fat. And then there's omega-3 fats. Well, the third group actually had omega-6s and a small supplement of omega-3s, which most people know is the fat that comes from fish, certain seeds, flax, chia, and some other sources as well. It is known to actually reduce cholesterol, reduce heart disease, be brain healthy, and also decrease inflammation generally. Well, one of the things that they looked at over the course of this study with these mice is that the group that was fed the omega-3s actually didn't suffer any progression of their arthritis, and that was regardless of their body size. So it was very predictive of the group with the saturated fats and the omega-6, those two different groups, suffered significant progression of their arthritis in knees that had been markedly arthritic already, and many of them from trauma, injured knees that became arthritic. And in these two different types of fats, they became significantly worse. Well, the group with the omega-3s didn't get worse at all. As a matter of fact, even the fat mice, right, didn't suffer any progression of their arthritis. So it was independent of their body size. It was what they were actually consuming. Now, this is a significant finding because, again, it goes to the heart of we are what we eat. One more time. It's incredible how we see that. So all the thought of that, if we're overweight, it actually causes the joints. We've never known exactly what the mechanism was. It was always thought it was just the excessive weight on the joint causes the joint to break down. Well, that makes sense in a hip or a knee possibly, but why would that same person have significant arthritis in their hands that bear no weight at all, or other joints that are non-load bearing whatsoever? Well, this study actually goes again to the fact that it is what we eat that affects our metabolism and how we express. You can find more discussion of this on our website, drturlop.com. under the blog section, if you care to actually get a little bit more understanding. So until next time, sure glad you're with us and look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.